This video is sponsored by BUSR Sports Betting, the only trusted sports betting for passionate fans. For player prop bets, NFL division winner, even the Super Bowl for the 2022 season, simply sign up on BUSR.com to make a deposit, get up to $1,000 plus 25 casino chips bonus, and wager on anything, NFL anything, and the Philadelphia Eagles all year long. Use the promo code SPORTS100FP to make your bets. I'm not the betting type, guys, but definitely give this a shot. It is fantastic. It is addicting to use this. Check out the betting lines every single week for anything you want. And I want to thank BUSR for sponsoring this video and safe betting.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yes. I am finally back, guys, and I don't have my voice. My voice is totally gone from last night. It is gone. So I apologize if my voice isn't at 100% today. So hopefully by tomorrow I can speak a little bit louder and speak more clear. But I got to say, guys, this was so amazing. And from the get, I mean, this is going to be a long video, guys, because I have a lot to explain here. Since the beginning, when I went to the tailgate last night, well, early, like 1:30 p.m. when everyone was starting to get into the link, which was awesome at the tailgate, there was just a different vibe last night from the fans. And, even coming off that Lions game where we knew that there was more potential to this team, that this team could play absolutely better than what they did. And I don't know what happened. Did Howie Roseman meet with, Jonathan Gannon and Nick, and they kind of sat around and said, this defense has to be a lot better. But I got to say, I'm going to discuss and nitpick a few things, but I got to talk about just this game in general. And Jalen Hurts, he is growing before our eyes into an elite quarterback. And I know it's too early to say this, but going into the second game, I didn't expect, I expected this to be maybe an ugly win, that maybe the offense would get their shots. And, Justin Jefferson would get his catches, maybe 80 to 100 yards, maybe something like that. And then, the defense would not really play that perfect. But it was the total opposite of that, guys. Total opposite. And Jalen Hurts, 28 for 31, 333 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and 57 rushing. I forgot the stats for he even broke NFL history with his touchdowns. And obviously his completion percentage was at 84%, which is absolutely insane. It was insane. The distribution to the receivers, at the start of the game was so fluid, was so good. You knew that the Vikings were going to play in zone a lot in this game because there's no way they're double teaming Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, Quez Watkins. There was just way too much to deal with. So with A.J. Brown on this team, you have to really pick your poison. And I figured, holy crap, Goddard had 82 yards, Smitty 80, Brown 69, Watkins 69. Quez Watkins had that wide open pass to the end zone. AJ Brown on a couple third downs and some really good catches, and Devontae Smith had his catches as well. So the distribution of the football was almost perfect. It was literally perfect, guys, and I was so happy that going through his progressions, his reads, and throwing that football into short windows, he was just perfect. The throwing arm just looks so much better, and it looks different, and I love it. The protection was a lot better in this game, but the penalties were just way too much. There was a lot of drive killers. The Eagles didn't score in the second half of this game at all, so it was kind of crazy. The running backs had 164 yards combined on 31, 32, 33 carries. I can't remember the exact number, but I thought the running backs played really well, game well. I thought Boston Scott had a couple good runs. Miles Sanders looked very, very good. Miles Sanders, I got to say, this is a contract year. This is going to be a really tough year after this year to see what they're doing with him. And I'm kind of preparing myself. He's going to be off this team, but could he actually get an extension? I really don't know, but we'll definitely talk about that in another video. Not only that, but defensively, you go into this game and you got a lot to deal with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. You have Osborne and Smith, the other receiver that had a touchdown potential drop. They had a lot of drops in this game as well, but Jefferson was only held. 6 for 48. Thielen, what was it, 6 for 52? 4 for 52. You held Justin Jefferson to 48 yards, 2 picks by Big Play Slay, one by Avonte Maddox. Big Play Slay would have had like 4 or 5 picks in this game. He dropped a few of them, but they totally dominated. They dominated, and the defensive line had some pressure where it really counted, where it really mattered. And I'm not going to say I was happy with the pressure consistently, but when they blitzed, they blitzed. But when they didn't blitz, the coverage was so great. I thought linebacker-wise, TJ Edwards was almost perfect today with 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 3 QB pressures. There was 2 of those pressures came off of a pick and 0 first downs allowed on 9 targets. TJ Edwards played fantastic. The linebackers played fantastic. It was just all around, this was a team win. There was nobody that was higher. Both the offense and the defense almost played at the same level, which I was so happy about during this game. And I woke up this morning saying, did they actually win this game last night? Because as you could tell, I was screaming. I lost my voice probably the first 15, 20 minutes that they were on the field. The crowd was nuts. We had their back. I had their back, and they pulled it off. They pulled it off, guys. Obviously, no score in the second half. Obviously, the blocked field goal. Aaron Sipos with the tackle on that, he really saved that, and that's when we had a pick by Big Play Slay in the end zone. I saw that Justin Jefferson was he was he was disgruntled. He really was. Coming off that 183-yard game against the Packers. I don't know how they did it, guys, but I'm saying to myself right now, this defense can actually play a lot better than what they did last night. Okay. And wow, just what a fantastic game. Great coaching on both sides. And, like I said, the pressure could have been there a little bit more. I think Josh Sweat had 2 sacks. I think Fletch had a sack from what I saw last night, but I'm not really sure. But when the pressure was there on Kirk Cousins is 2 for 10 in primetime games. He's not great. He's not great at all. And when the pressure was there, he just couldn't get it done. When they blitzed, they couldn't get it done. But the coverage was so good, even when we were almost getting to Kirk Cousins just by little. I didn't really like how they used Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. I thought they were playing them off the ball way too much in coverage. They're in coverage way too much. I really want Reddick to be more of an edge rusher, Josh Sweat more of an edge rusher. It's just I understand that Reddick has done this in the past with the Cardinals and the Panthers, but I think they have to do more with Hassan Reddick, and they just have to put him on the edge. But overall, I think besides some of these penalties were ridiculous, an eligible receiver upfield, just some stupid bonehead penalties. They could have scored over 45 points on the Vikings, and I gotta say this was a statement game. We beat the Lions and people thought it was a joke, but to be honest with you, the Lions are a better team than I thought they were. They still put over 30 points on Washington and still got 7 sacks on Carson Wentz. And now obviously we have Washington next week, but it was a loud stadium. It was a clear path on both sides of the football that they played at a high level, that mistakes obviously were still made, but not as many as we did in that first game. And defensively, I was really surprised. I went into this game defensively saying it's probably going to be an ugly game, more pressure on the offense, and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts looked poised. The one that Quez Watkins, he threw for a touchdown, kind of went towards the crowd and put his arms in like that. And I was like, man. And you know what? He didn't overly celebrate. He went to the sideline and he was just calm, cool, collective, and the business ain't done yet. He knows the mentality of Jalen Hurts is off the charts, guys. He looked elite. This was the best game we've seen from Jalen Hurts. And if he plays like this nonstop, it is going to be really tough for me to say he doesn't deserve a contract. This team is looking dangerous and scarier by the week, and this really was the big statement game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I am proud to say that I was at that game last night, whether you were watching at home or you were at the game. I'm proud to say that I was at the game, and I witnessed a fantastic game from Jalen Hurts, and I think he could play better. I think this defense could play better if you just blitz just a little bit more. Because really, at the end of the day, with the pressure, it's just not there for me. I think that was just one of the things I can nitpick, because we can all nitpick on a lot of things. Special teams is horrible, guys. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with these return guys. I don't like Quez Watkins as a kick returner. I don't like... Britton Covey hasn't really done much of anything, but he's still very raw. He takes a horizontal step, which I don't like. Reminds me of Reagor in a lot of ways. Oh, and speaking of Jalen Reagor, because obviously you guys couldn't see everything that was happening. The first time Reagor got on the field, which I think everyone did see, he was kind of telling the crowd to boo him more and didn't go anywhere. The longest, literally, you held Dalvin Cook to 16, 17 yards the whole entire game. He did nothing. And then as the game went on, Dalvin Cook got worse because he was trying to get his body upfield before making the catch. Even on some of these passes to him, Dalvin Cook could not do anything whatsoever. So I was really happy about that. But Reagor, he got destroyed. He looked the exact same as when he left Philadelphia to go to the Vikings. He had it the longest run that the Vikings had in this game was the end around, the jet sweep to Jalen Reagor for how many yards that was. That was their longest run of the day. The Eagles shut them up. I just wish the Eagles put more points on the board, because, man, those penalties really killed us in that second half. I mean, really the whole game, there was just some drive killers. That pick that Jalen Hurts threw at the end of the game really wasn't his fault, and that screen pass, it just bounced the wrong way into a group of people, so it wasn't caught, and the pick was there. And the Eagles, even off the kick field goal with a pick. Avonte Maddox on the pick. I mean, the big play Slay was a big play Slay was literally just everywhere, always getting his hands on the football. The cornerbacks, everybody took their part. Marcus Epps, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, everybody made their tackles, got their hands on the football. I mean, it was just fantastic to watch. I can't complain about it. I really can't. I am so happy. I woke up the next day. I was like, man, I can't believe we played like this. This isn't a dream. This is just something so special. And you got Washington next week coming off of Carson Wentz with a 7-sack game. And I'm telling you right now, you could treat this game the same exact way with the same game plan going into Washington next week and really get that pressure going. I don't know what happened with Jonathan Gannon. They made sure that they fixed their mistakes, and there must have been a big sit down. There must have been a huge sit down with this team, and obviously with Gannon, Sirianni, and Howie Roseman. Like, we got to fix this defense. Howie Roseman has given Gannon a brand new defense on a silver platter, and I said there is no way after that Lions game. There was no way that was the best that they were going to play. I couldn't force myself to say that was the best that they could play. I'm so proud. I'm really just proud that they just play with heart, and I miss these days of them playing with their hearts on their sleeve, and they're just giving us their all, and those coaches are giving us their all. To be honest, guys, I'm actually starting to be afraid a little bit that maybe the offensive coordinator in Shane Steichen, he might get picked up next year. He might be a head coach to a football team, or maybe be a coordinator for another team next year, because if the Eagles play that good, I think potentially the Eagles could lose Gannon and Steichen going into next year. But, we'll get down that path, across that road when we can. But I got to say, guys, from the moment I hit that tailgate, there was just a different, I can't talk today, obviously, but a different atmosphere. There was a different vibe with the fan base. There was just an excitement that it was just different from other games that I've been to. And just with a few minor changes and just doing things a little differently, I really didn't worry about I really didn't worry about the offense too much because I knew that they were going to go get their catches after that Lions game, even with A.J. Brown getting 155 yards. I figured, and then no one hit over 100 yards. I mean, Devontae Smith had the most yards today. Oh, no, Dallas Goedert did with 82, and Devontae Smith had 80. So they all played very well. I mean, just overwhelming, man. Just overwhelming. I can't even complain. It was the most exciting game I've ever been to be honest with you. It was that exciting. And, the Eagles get a big win. You beat the Vikings. There's excuses that you beat the Lions, and there's excuses that we just beat the Lions. There's so much more to this team, guys. And I think the Lions have become a better team than what they've looked like, scoring over 30 points again in another game against Washington after us. And we literally shut down the Vikings, and we could have scored more points, over 45 points. This could have been more of a bigger blowout than it was. But obviously the drive killers, obviously you had the field goal block that really didn't mean anything because we got a pick off of that. And then, oh, man, what a game. What a game. I felt proud as a fan last night. I felt proud when I woke up this morning. I made sure I wasn't dreaming, though, but I made sure that this was what it was. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are happy. I hope you guys, and look, I know people are still complaining. I'm just because I'm on YouTube, so I have to talk about the things that didn't work either. But I'll take a dominating win like this any day of the week. I can't complain. This is the best game they've played, and you're only going into your third game now. Second game is the best game they've played so far because you know what? It could be shaking the rust off. It could be some changes, and honestly, fixing the mistakes. There was a lot of mistakes in that first game. There was mistakes in this game as well, but there was a sit down. There had to have been a sit down, and Gannon had to change his things. Not saying that Gannon definitely played a lot better. He actually dictated what he was doing today a lot better than he did last game. There's no doubt about that. But could it get better defensively? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it can. Okay. Having A.J. Brown, this offense changes so much because now it's just you have to pick your poison. You can't double team one of these guys. And I think with the read option, it's just kind of crazy because I don't like them doing the RPOs too much, but I got to say it really worked. Even when we were down, the special teams is just god-awful. Like I said, Quez Watkins, is not a return guy. I just don't see it. And Covey is still very raw right now. They have to go get a returner or something. We're down between the 10 to the 20-yard line at every possession, which can't happen. Like we were all the way down at the, and Hurts, was smart at some points and, took the ball for himself to get some extra yards to kind of get us out of the end zone a little bit, which I thought it was smart. But the Vikings were nervous. They were on their heels. They didn't know what was going to happen because Jalen Hurts makes this offense work. Jalen Hurts makes this running game work. Without Jalen Hurts, the run game does not work. Okay, and obviously the offensive line, a good job. I thought there was a couple, obviously a couple penalties, but I thought the blocking was so much better last night than it was against the Lions. And really, they didn't have a QB spy on Hurts or nothing. I mean, they allowed Hurts to do whatever he wanted, and they were looking out for Hurts on the distribution between running back and quarterback. Like, they didn't know what was going to happen, but between that and the zone coverage, Hurts made every throw look very easy. And you know what? I gotta congratulate him. His offseason work, his mentality, him being a leader, and him not overly celebrating after these touchdowns. He went to the sideline, sat down, and just had this most serious look on his face. And I couldn't. It was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about this game. I'm sorry my voice has been messed up. My voice, I lost it last night. Obviously, it's going to happen. So I do appreciate everybody. Definitely, I know I didn't make videos. I was at the game. I want to go to at least one game this year. I hope you guys didn't get too mad about it, but I had a really good time, and we'll definitely be having more videos, more streams this week. And if you guys didn't check out the video of the Eagles entrance, the word art in the end zones, there's a lot of stuff there too there. But I do appreciate everybody watching the video and supporting. So I will see you guys on the next one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Just talk about the game. I want to hear what you guys think about just in general, man. I can't believe they shut down Jefferson and THEILEN. I can't wait they shut down Jefferson, THEILEN, Dalvin, Cook. I can't believe it. I'm just, man, this team is dangerous, and it's getting scarier by the week, guys. So definitely look out. I will see you guys on the next one. Shake Squad up, follow, so peace out, guys. Peace.